Hi, this is Doug Smith in Boulder City, Nevada, and I thought you might like to hear a little bit about my upcoming seminar, the 24th through the 27th of August in 2020 here, of course. It's a virtual seminar, half a day each for 4 days at a very small fraction of the price of an on-site seminar, but pretty much covers a lot of the same material, a lot of which includes new stuff I've worked on in the last couple months. New troubleshooting techniques. I'm coming up with them all the time. The content of the seminar is quite unique. It's mostly material I've developed myself, and we spend a lot of time in experiment mode. So here's some of the features of the seminar. Let's go down here and look at our pad here. I'm at the seminar table here rather than doing this sort of officially on the desktop computer. I like hanging out in the lab. So it's a troubleshooting seminar, how to get your circuits to work, either in the first place so you can market it, or to pass some requirement, some test you have to pass, either internal or maybe a compliance test. So we start off by talking how to get useful lab results, because if you get bad measurement results while you're troubleshooting, it's a real time burner, causes you a lot of trouble. So we talk about how to be able to trust your lab measurements and understand them. It turns out there's a lot of limitations to the measurement that we don't necessarily know about, that can cause some problems. We can't always trust what we see on the screen of the scope or some other instrument. Then PCB and circuit level troubleshooting techniques. And many of these are developed myself. They're not published. You won't find them anywhere else except in my seminars. Maybe a little hint of some of them in my YouTube videos, but I never give away the best ones there. So a lot of good stuff here at the PCB level. I have a section on EMC and EST troubleshooting, including a short section, 20 minutes or so, on test labs. Every test lab I've been to has made errors, and they do them frequently that can cause you to fail when you should have passed, or vice versa, which may be worse. And I'll go through the kind of mistakes they make, and you keep an eye out for them. Just an observation, I've had lots of suggestions that I've made over my life to test labs watching a test that they're doing it wrong. They always push back. I never lost that argument. So we'll talk about some ways you might have passed even though they say you fail, as well as troubleshooting techniques. Component issues, for instance, resistor failures. Different resistors act differently under stress of various kinds, and it's good to understand that, and we'll do some here. We'll even blow some things up. Finding worst case failure modes. You know, if you're making a robot to use in an automotive factory, it's not really good if the failure mode is it swipes workers off the line. So you'd really like to know what's the worst thing that can happen. You may not care to fix it if it's not so bad, but you'd like to know how to induce that to happen, and that's one of the things we talk about. Fixing intermittent problems is one of my big things, by inducing the failure to happen anytime you want. If you can get a failure to happen anytime you want, and get maybe on the face of some instrument some evidence of it happening, that's pretty much 90% of the troubleshooting process. And a lot of my techniques for making intermittent problems show themselves, I should say, so you can fix them. And the result of all the stuff up here is that we can often, and I have done this, I get results in even minutes sometimes, hours, instead of days, weeks, or even months. The worst case effort was one client had a whole team of engineers working for a year to try and nail a problem, and I did it in the morning using the techniques above here. So that's all about the seminar. I will put the link to it in the notes at the bottom of the video here, so you can take a peek at it. And it's about 1/4 the price of actually coming here, and when you count the time away from work and the travel expenses, it's a lot less than that. Okay, so if I can get my mouse to work here. Where is my mouse? There we go. Take a peek and let me know. Thanks.